everyone. In this lecture, we'll discuss how to solve certain problems using DTFT. The first question, find the Fourier transform of the sequence x of n is equal to a raised to n u of minus n minus 1 and modulus of a greater than 1. So we are given a left-sided sequence which is extending from minus infinity to 0, minus infinity to minus 1. And x of e raised to j omega is summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e raised to minus j omega n. In the place of x of n, we have substituted a raised to n u of minus n minus 1, and we know this u of minus n minus 1, its value is 1 when n is less than or equal to minus 1, and it is 0 for n greater than minus 1. Therefore, the limit of summation becomes n equal to minus infinity to minus 1 a raised to n e raised to minus j omega n. And these two terms can be combined and written as 1 by a e raised to j omega whole raised to minus n, and the variables are changed, that is in summation n equal to 1 to infinity 1 by a e raised to j omega whole raised to n. That is when n is minus 1, here if it is minus n, it will be plus 1. Therefore, so when n is 1, it is n itself. Okay, so there won't be any change in value. Therefore, now we are performing a change in variable. So we are letting or defining a new variable m, which is n minus 1. Therefore, n is going to be m plus 1. So when n is equal to 1, that is the lower limit is n equal to 1. So when n is 1, m is 0, and when n is infinity, m is also infinity. Therefore, this summation, that is x of e raised to j omega, can be expressed in terms of the new variable m as summation m equal to 0 to infinity 1 by a e raised to j omega, and n is m plus 1, m plus 1. Okay, so here 1 by a e raised to j omega, it is taken outside, and what is inside the summation is summation m equal to 0 to infinity 1 by a e raised to j omega whole raised to m. Now this is sum to infinity of a GP, and it is going to be, that sum to infinity is going to be 1 by 1 minus 1 by a e raised to j omega, and this term in the numerator is this multiplication factor, that is 1 by a e raised to j omega. Okay, therefore we can write on rearranging x of e raised to j omega is 1 divided by a e raised to minus j omega minus 1 for modulus of a greater than 1. That is the Fourier transform DTFT of a raised to n u of minus n minus 1 is 1 divided by a e raised to minus j omega minus 1 when modulus of a is greater than 1. So this, except for the change in sign, the Fourier transform is identical to the Fourier transform of x of n is equal to a raised to n un, and when mod a is less than 1. Okay, so when we are asked to find the inverse Fourier transform, you can check on the a value and you can directly write the inverse. Okay, now here this x of e raised to j omega being a complex number, we need to find its magnitude and phase. So for that, first we are going to multiply both the numerator and denominator with the complex conjugate, and on rearranging we get x of e raised to j omega as a cos omega minus 1 plus ja sin omega by denominator 1 minus 2a cos omega plus a square. So here in the numerator they have made use of the relation e raised to j omega equal to cos omega plus j sin omega. Also, see, in the denominator they have multiplied these two, and cos omega is e raised to j omega plus e raised to minus j omega by 2. Okay, so they have made use of that relationship, and if you consider, see, the denominator is purely real. In the numerator we have a real part and an imaginary part. Therefore we can write the real part of x of e raised to j omega, which is xr of e raised to j omega, then that is a cos omega minus 1 by the denominator, and the imaginary part is a sin omega by the denominator. So the magnitude is square root of real part square plus imaginary part square, and that is 1 divided by root of 1 minus 2a cos omega plus a square. And the phase angle is given by tan inverse imaginary part by real part, and that is tan inverse a sin omega divided by a cos omega minus 1. Okay. Next is find the Fourier transform of the anti-causal sequence x of n equal to a raised to minus n u of minus n minus 1 modulus of a less than 1. Okay. The Fourier transform of the sequence is given by summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e raised to minus j omega n, and that is in the place of x of n we have substituted a raised to minus n u of minus n minus 1, and we know u of minus n minus 1 is extending from n equal to minus infinity to minus 1. So it is 1 for n less than or equal to minus 1, and it is 0 for n greater than minus 1. Okay, so x of e raised to j omega, now it is summation is from n equal to minus infinity to minus 1, a raised to minus n e raised to minus j omega n, and these terms are grouped, that is a e raised to j omega whole raised to minus n. Now the summation limits are changed from n equal to 1 to infinity, and this minus n is replaced with n. Again we are performing a change in variable, that is defining a new variable m which is equal to n minus 1. Therefore n is m plus 1, and when n is 1 m is 0, when n is infinity m is also infinity. Therefore x of e raised to j omega in terms of m is summation m equal to 0 to infinity a e raised to j omega whole raised to m plus 1. So the summation is with respect to variable m. Therefore from this term we can take a e raised to j omega outside. Summation m equal to 0 to infinity a e raised to j omega whole raised to m. Now it is a e raised to j omega, that is the term outside this summation, and this summation reduces to 1 by 1 minus a e raised to j omega. Okay. So therefore the Fourier transform of a raised to minus n u of minus n minus 1 is a e raised to j omega by 1 minus a e raised to j omega, and modulus of a is less than 1. Now find the Fourier transform of the non-causal sequence x of n is equal to a raised to modulus of n and mod a less than 1. Okay, and we know this is the sequence x of n. It is a double-sided sequence a raised to modulus of n, and we know mod n means it is n when n is positive and it is minus n when n is negative. Okay, so we get x of n as a double-sided sequence which is extending from minus infinity to plus infinity. Therefore x of n is a raised to n for n greater than or equal to 0, and it is a raised to minus n for n less than or equal to minus 1. Therefore we can write x of n as a raised to n un plus a raised to minus n u of minus n minus 1. In the previous problems we have already derived the dtft of these two terms. Okay, therefore we can directly write the dtft, that is Fourier transform of x of n is Fourier transform of this first term plus Fourier transform of second term, and that is going to be x of e raised to j omega equal to 1 divided by 1 minus a e raised to minus j omega plus a e raised to j omega by 1 minus a e raised to j omega. Therefore that is equal to 1 minus a square by 1 minus 2a cos omega plus a square. Okay, therefore so the Fourier transform also, see in this case this Fourier transform x of e raised to j omega, it is a real value. Okay, Next question, find the Fourier transform of the rectangular pulse x of n is equal to u of n plus n1 minus u of n minus n1 minus 1, and that is, it is 1 for mod n less than or equal to n1, and it is 0 for mod n greater than n1. Okay, now the Fourier transform x of e raised to j omega is summation n equal to minus infinity to infinity x of n e raised to minus j omega n, and it is summation n equal to minus n1 to n1 e raised to minus j omega n. So we are performing a change in variable. We are letting a new variable small m equal to n plus n1. So n equal to m minus n1 and m equal to 0 when n is minus n1 and m equal to 2n1 when n is n1. Therefore, in terms of variable m, x of e raised to j omega can be expressed as x of e raised to j omega equal to summation m equal to 0 to 2n1 e raised to minus j omega into m minus n1, and see, the summation is with respect to variable m. Therefore, from this term we can take out e raised to j omega n1 outside the summation. So it is e raised to j omega n1 into summation m equal to 0 to 2n1 e raised to minus j omega m. Okay, and this is some summation, a finite summation up to 2n1. Therefore, its summation is 1 minus e raised to minus j omega into 2n1 plus 1 divided by 1 minus e raised to minus j omega. Okay, so it is now we are going to rearrange this term. From the numerator and denominator we are taking e raised to minus j omega by 2 outside. Therefore, in the numerator the term within the bracket is e raised to j omega by 2 minus e raised to minus j omega into 2n1 plus 1 by 2 divided by e raised to j omega by 2 minus e raised to minus j omega by 2. Okay, so this e raised to minus j omega by 2 cancels, and the numerator term is going to be e raised to j omega into n1 plus 1 by 2 minus e raised to minus j omega into n1 plus 1 by 2 divided by e raised to j omega by 2 minus e raised to minus j omega by 2. Okay, and we know sine theta can be expressed in e raised to j theta form as sine theta equal to e raised to j theta minus e raised to minus j theta by 2j. The numerator and denominator is of the form e raised to j theta minus e raised to minus j theta. Therefore, it can be expressed in terms of sine function. So the numerator is sine omega n1 plus 1 by 2 divided by denominator is sine omega by 2. Okay, so that is the Fourier transform. Also we can see this x of e raised to j omega, it is sine numerator and denominator, two sine functions. It is a real value, so the magnitude and the phase angle magnitude can be evaluated for using this equation for different frequencies. Similarly, phase angles can also be equated for different frequency, different frequency value, and it is obtained as the phase angle is 0 when magnitude is greater than 0, and it is pi for magnitude less than 0, and the magnitude and phase spectrum, it is plotted. This is the original x of n, which is extending from minus n1 to n1, and this is x of e raised to j omega, and this is the magnitude spectrum, and this is the phase angle. Okay,